So we're taking Chris's performance and we're actually shrinking him down and scaling him down and thinning him up. And we're doing it using a variety of techniques, but that's one of our sort of more challenging aspects of what we're doing, and something that really hasn't been done to this level before. You know, he's a big guy, he's broad, and he's got a classic V shape, and what we're trying to turn him into is the 98-pound weakling and make him shorter and thin out his face and remove the muscles from his neck and his shoulders.
We did a few proof of concept tests, and I remember showing a section of the film, early rough cut footage of the rebirth scene, where there were a few shots of Chris skinny, gets onto a table, goes into the pod opens up, reveals the muscles, and the people I was showing to, how did you add those muscles? That was amazing. What's that effect? How did you add those muscles? And I went, that's not the effect. The effect is the skinny version. They go, really? That is kind of when we all looked at each other and went, it's going to work.
It changes the performance. When we're first looking at dailies and we're first looking at our rough cut, there's very few completed shots, and you see Chris, muscular Chris, doing these scenes with people, and everyone's referring to him, you don't give up, you're skinny. And then when you start seeing the effect shots finally in the film, wow, does it change everything.
As much as possible is Chris basically shrunk. When that didn't work, for technical reasons, we photographed a body double, what we call a skinny Steve, an English guy named Leander Deeney.
Chris is of a kind of heroic build, and he needs to be a scrawny loser. That's where I come in. He'll decide how he wants to do the scene, and I'll watch him do it 4 or 5 times, and then I do that and try and get an exact copy.
Okay, good. You do one with Chris, you do one with a double, you do one with a clean plate. Sometimes we do one with Chris and slide a green screen in behind him. Sometimes we do one with the double and put tracking markers on his face. Frankly, because we wanted to give the effects houses as much information as they needed, because we knew the process wouldn't be easy, and we knew that from shot to shot they'd have to vary their technique. So we essentially covered every technique possible to give them all the ammunition they need.
What we found out early on is that Leander wasn't quite thin enough and weak-looking enough, and he wasn't quite emaciated to the point we wanted him to, so we would have to skinny up Leander as well. And sometimes when we skinnied Leander, Chris's head would be wrong. It's amazing how just a matter of millimeters will make him look like a completely different person.
It's been probably the hardest thing for us to achieve, because not only are you trying to make someone look small and you're trying to make him look believable, but you're also trying to make him look consistent. And from shot to shot, depending on the lens that you used when you photographed it or the lighting, that can change things dramatically.
And because there's so many shots, it's not like we can give them to one artist and say, make all these shots look like the same guy. They have to go to several different artists.
We employ 8 or 9 companies currently, and we've got them in 3 continents. And some of those companies will have upwards of 300-400 people working on this. There's a lot of work and an incredible amount of energy and effort goes into every single frame in the final movie.